I'd like to welcome you all to the Tuesday, July 28, 2026 meeting of the Denton County Commissioners Court. We're excited to have so many people with us this morning at the courthouse. At this time, I would like to welcome forward Kyler Barks. He is going to lead us in our invocation in just a moment, but before we do, I would like to say something that before we begin today's meeting, I'd like to recognize the sacrifices of U.S. Army Private Isabella Gonzalez, a Denton County resident and graduate of Hebron High School, who was killed in action on July 17th during an Iranian attack in Jordan. Today, Denton County mourns the loss of one of our own, and we extend our deepest condolences to her family and friends and fellow soldiers. Please join me in observing a moment of silence in honor of Private Gonzalez and all those who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our nation. If you will please stand, and we'll observe our moment of silence.
Heavenly Father, as we gather to serve our community, help us to be trustworthy in our decisions, loyal to the people we serve, helpful to our neighbors, friendly and courteous in our decisions, kind to one another, obedient to what is right, cheerful in service, thrifty with the resources entrusted to us, brave in difficult moments, clean in thought and action, and reverent for the many blessings you have given us. Guide the members of this Commissioner's Court with wisdom and humility as they seek the good of Denton County. May all who are gathered here work together in a spirit of respect, service, and unity. Amen.
Amen. Well, thank you, Kyler. At this time, I'd like to welcome forward all of our Boy Scouts that have participated in our merit badge participants. So if you'll come forward, they're going to lead us in. Boys, come on up, and they're going to lead us in our pledges. Perfect. That is great, guys. Okay, and our flags are here.
Flags are behind you, gentlemen.
All right, go right ahead.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Perfect, good. All right, thank you. Let's give Kyler and our scouts a big hand. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we have no one registered for public comments this morning, and so anyway, we're excited to have so many fresh faces with us this morning at the Denton County Courthouse. It's glad to see the youth of America in a courtroom for a celebratory event, so I'll tell you that. All right. I would like to remind everybody to turn off your cell phones so we can have an undisturbed meeting. At this time, let's go to item 3A, which is approval of a proclamation recognizing the fall 2025, spring 2026 Denton County Scouting America Citizenship in the Community Merit Badge Program recipients. And so if y'all will come up, and then do we have someone from our museum who would like to talk about our program? Good morning.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Thank you so much for having us. I do want to introduce our volunteers who help with this program, which is Bob, who's right there, and Jim McLaren, which I don't don't think Jim's here, but they do a wonderful job helping with our program. But today we have our fall and spring classes of Scouts today from this past year. We actually had 27 Scouts complete their merit badge this time. So I think we have about 11 who plan to attend today. So we're so glad y'all are here taking time from your summer to spend with us. Our program, while we help them get their citizenship in the community merit badge, we really do it from a county focus. So we want them to have the opportunity to learn how their county government functions and how they can be a better county community member. And we are very appreciative of Commissioner Williams for helping out with both of these classes this year. We really appreciate that. And I was going to plug our newest, our upcoming fall class, but I opened signups last week and we filled up in less than 24 hours. So we already have a full set of Scouts coming in the fall. So yeah, we hope to continue offering this program twice a year going forward.
Perfect. Well, great. Well, we appreciate all of the students that have enrolled in it, the Scouts, and also the volunteers. So thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and read this court resolution. This is a court resolution recognizing the fall 2025, spring 2026 Denton County Scouting America Citizenship in the Community Merit Badge Program. And whereas the Citizenship in the Community Merit Badge Program sponsored by the Denton County Office of History and Culture is for those participating in Scouting America from across Denton County and have met 3 times to learn about citizenship and community in Denton County. And whereas to earn this badge, Scouts mapped out important community locations and services in Denton County, outlined the local county government, attended a session of Commissioners Court, interviewed Commissioner Ryan Williams, and gave 8 hours of their time to volunteering for nonprofits and presented a final presentation on citizenship and community in Denton County to merit badge counselors. And whereas the following Scouts earned their citizenship in the community merit badge with the Denton County Office of History and Culture in the fall of 2025 and spring 2026. And so our first one is Krish Teja Ashok Kumar, Kyler Barks, Fitz Burgess, Knots Burgess, Ethan Cervantes, Campbell Craig, Murphy Craig, Derek Fortier, Austin Garrison, Carly Gastineau, Jack Gastineau, Tommy Gastineau, Dhruv Tharor George, Carter Gaboni, Vincent Giantu, Zakara Hassan, Sudiksha Ina Pamudi, Kartika Kakaruparthi, Sanvi Pandahar, James Quimby, Tanishka Sampa, Strummer Stanley, Landon Stevens, Lakshmi Sarayu Sarapuruma, Krishiv Vakari, Johnny Wallace, and Eric Ward. And whereas these Scouts have demonstrated important skills in research, communication, community activism, and public speaking. And now, therefore, be it resolved, the Denton County Commissioners Court does hereby recognize these Denton County Scouts for their accomplishment in completing the Citizenship in the Community Merit Badge with the Denton County Office of History and Culture for fall 2025 and spring 2026, and wishes them continued success as they pursue future opportunities, serve their communities, and strive for excellence in all their endeavors. Done in open court this the 28th day of July, 2026, upon a motion made by
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer. The chair will second. Any discussion? Well, I am so excited to have you all here, and that one of the great things about scouting, and I have 2 Eagle Scout sons, and they enjoyed scouting so much, and it just makes you a better citizenship. And I hope that one day that you'll come, hopefully you'll stay here in Denton County and get to be a leader in Denton County. You don't have to be an elected official to be a leader. You can be a business leader, be a civic leader, church leader, so many different opportunities. But I hope that what you learned about your local county government, how it works, really helps shapes and makes you a better citizen. All right, so thank you all for being part of our program. Anyone else want to say something?
Wonderful. Thank you, Judge. Yeah, we have a lot of fun. They ask some wonderful questions. Actually, some of them do an excellent job with some of the questions and stump me for an answer occasionally. But we have a lot of, I enjoy it. I appreciate the opportunity to participate. There are a lot of wonderful young men and women that come and are involved. And I think the other thing that we have to remember is the parents that are involved to make sure that they're able to get here, because none of these kids can drive that I'm aware of. If you can, I'm sure it's illegal. But nevertheless, the parents, they take the time out of their day to make sure that they're able to make whatever events they need to make, and they come up here on a Saturday. And thank you to the volunteers that are involved as well. It takes everybody to make sure that this is a success. So I enjoy being involved, and congratulations to you young men and women. Thank you, Judge.
Anyone else? Go ahead. Did you want to say something?
Yes, thank you, Judge. Well, I as a former scout, I have a lot of good memories from that time, and it was a great experience, and I know that you all are experiencing that same thing. I'm sorry that I love to come to those, in this case, this class, I was out of town for the times during that class, but I think it's great. It's always fun to see you guys. And, the scouting program just broadens your horizons in so many ways, and so I'm glad you're part of it. And for all the audience, if you didn't know, you heard the Scout Law from Kyler this morning in his prayer, and I thought that was great. Well done.
Yeah, he
Thank
did a
you.
great job. Did you want to say something?
I just want to thank you for your dedication to this program and this class. It takes a lot of dedication to do the accomplishment that you all have accomplished. And thanks to the parents and everyone for all that you do. And as the judge says, go out and be great citizens, come back and make us proud again when you're an adult in making sure that you take care of the things that we may have left off. So we're going to leave it in your hands. Thank you for being a scout.
That's right. Commissioner Edmondson, did you want to speak to the scouts?
I'm very supportive of the scouting program, having gone through a Girl Scout program. And I think these kids are just marvelous. They are interested in their community. They're dedicated. They want to do what they can. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And as Commissioner Mitchell said, let's see you back here in about 3 or 4 years and see what leadership you'll be able to provide for the county then. Thank you so much.
Perfect, good. All right, hearing no other comments, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations.
Come up here, guys. We're going to take a picture if you'll come right up in here.
He said how it's feeling.
That's true. Yeah.
Parents, y'all come up too, please.
Yeah, come on by your son or daughter.
Next, let's go to item 3B, which is approval of a proclamation recognizing the Denton County Sheriff's Office Life-Saving Award recipients and any appropriate action. And Sheriff, you'll come forward, and I know we have several honorees. If they'd like to come forward as well, we'd love to have y'all down front here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
When I'm done, I'm going to offer the microphone to these guys, but I promised I wouldn't make them talk because they'd rather be anywhere in the world than standing right here right now. But I made them be here. And there are several on this proclamation. Several aren't here today because they're standing their post. And they're, I don't know, did y'all flip a coin or how did that work? Your bosses just said be here? That's what I thought. I want to talk a little bit about this unit. As then Commissioner Eads and Commissioner Mitchell, y'all remember, it's been about 10 years now that y'all approved and we put forth to create this unit to protect our county buildings, our courthouses, more importantly, to protect our employees and the public who frequent those spots. And it's been tremendous success. And I want to thank you guys for your support and you guys for your continued support of this unit.
You bet.
And you know, this is what I call a deterrent unit. And in other words, we will never know, and there's no way of knowing how many times someone showed up at one of our buildings intending to do harm and saw professional police officers and decided not to do it. It's just an immeasurable. I assure you it has happened, but it's just something we'll never be able to measure. But this we can measure. These guys, it's all on video. I'll be happy to show you sometime just how remarkable that on this day a gentleman was in the courthouse. He had some business to take care of, and as he came through the lobby, immediately one of the guys noticed something wasn't quite right. And you can see it in the video. He doesn't know exactly what it is, but he's watching this man. And then the man he goes down. And immediately, my guys rush in, do an evaluation, see that he is in distress and he's in trouble. And like clockwork, followed their training, did what they were expected to do, started CPR, somebody else called 911, somebody else and went and got the AED off the wall. Others who every fiber in their being was telling them to rush over to this man understood that could be a diversion. Right. It could be something going on, and they maintained their post to make sure that that's not what it was. And they had people to screen. They had people to make sure weren't there to do us harm. And it was a well-oiled machine, and it's just a remarkable thing to see. And because of their actions, because they followed their training, because each and every one of them had a job and did it to perfection, this gentleman is alive and well today. And he would not have made it out of that lobby if it hadn't been for these guys. So I wanted to let the public know, these guys come in contact with more public than any of my folks. And they get to come in contact with people who maybe it's not such a bad day for them, but a lot of them it is. Going to our courts, going to our tax office, going to things, jury duty.
Jury
things
duty,
they
that's
don't
what I was
really
about to
want
say.
to do. And so they're the face of the sheriff's office for so many people who really wouldn't probably have contact with the sheriff's office in a lot of ways. And so they represent our office, they represent the county, they represent me with professionalism, and they do a remarkable job. And because of the job they do, a man is alive today, and there's no greater calling and no greater service than that.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's immeasurable, and we'll never know how many lives have been saved because of these professionals who are there to take care of our folks. You know, when it came time to name them, I didn't want the word security anywhere in their title because I didn't want people to confuse them with what we had before. And we know I'm sorry that that was not a professional. They were not trained. And so we came up with a protective detail unit because that's what they're there to do, is to protect our employees, protect our public, and protect a lot of our elected officials. So I'm extremely proud of them, and I wanted to make sure that the public knew about this so they can be proud of them too. And I appreciate y'all's support on this unit. It's remarkable, and they do a fantastic job.
Well, thank you,
Anybody
Sheriff.
want to speak? That's what I figured. So that's why I came up, because they're just like, no, we're not doing it. And,
I think they're going to let us handle it.
And I'll tell you, they will tell you, each and every one of them will tell you the same thing. I was just doing my job.
That's right.
Man.
And they are remarkable professionals, and yes, they did their job, but they did it in such an extraordinary fashion. They saved a life, and I just wanted to make the court and the public aware of this. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Sheriff. And I think it's important that we do take moments like this to celebrate those who did the right thing. And I know that I feel safe, and I feel safe for all of our residents and guests and employees who go to our buildings across the county and all 900 square miles. We have buildings, and I'm very comforted in knowing that our sheriff's deputies are there to provide instruction, to provide guidance, to provide life-saving measures just like these individuals did. So thank you all for what you do. So I'd like to read this court proclamation recognizing the life-saving award recipients. In the Denton County Commissioners Court, Denton County, Texas, during a regular session on the 28th day of July, 2026, considered the following proclamation. Whereas on March the 9th, 2026, deputies Jaron Lockhart, Alan Henry, Ian Concepcion Marquez, Shannon Roach, Tommy Cowan, Joseph Gilbert, and Sergeant Carissa Flowers were on duty at the main courthouse where they were alerted to a citizen experiencing a critical medical emergency. And whereas upon arrival, the deputies discovered an individual who had collapsed in the courthouse lobby, was unresponsive, and was not breathing. And whereas these sworn personnel immediately and without hesitation initiated life-saving measures, including CPR and the deployment of an automated external defibrillator. And whereas the deputies and sergeant maintained continuous, skilled, and coordinated care of the patient, remaining with the individual and sustaining life-saving efforts until the arrival of emergency medical services. And whereas due directly to their swift response, decisive action, and professional application of emergency medical procedures, the citizen regained a pulse and began breathing prior to being transported to a medical facility. And whereas the actions of these deputies and the sergeant reflect exceptional training, composure under pressure, teamwork, and an unwavering commitment to the preservation of human life. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Denton County Commissioners Court of Denton County, Texas, does hereby recognize and commend deputies Jaron Lockhart, Alan Henry, Ian Concepcion Marquez, Shannon Roach, Tommy Cowan, Joseph Gilbert, and Sergeant Carissa Flowers for the heroic and life-saving actions on March the 9th, 2026. Their conduct is deemed worthy of the life-saving award and serves as a distinguished example of the highest standards of law enforcement service. This recognition is presented in appreciation of their dedication, professionalism, and commitment to safeguarding the lives of others, thereby bringing great credit to themselves and the Denton County Sheriff's Office. Done in open court this the 28th day of July, 2026, upon a motion by the chair.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Williams. Well, again, I just want to echo what the sheriff said and thank you for, number one, I always say answering the call to public service. I know you're skilled individuals. There's lots of things you could do professionally, and I'm glad that you're investing your skills and abilities in your career here at Denton County. So thank you for what you do. You're leaving Denton County a better place. Any other comments?
Yes. Thank you, Judge. Thank you. I'm proud to live in Denton County, where I have a sheriff department and other law enforcements that actually take care of us. I appreciate it. And I picked out one sentence from this proclamation that says, Whereas the action of these deputies and the sergeant reflect exceptional training, composure under pressure, teamwork, and an unwavering commitment to the preservation of human life. Sheriff, you stated that when they were all going to help the individual that was down, not only did they have the training to some go to the individual and some to stay to protect in case there was something else going on. That takes training, exceptional training. That takes decision. That takes commitment. That takes teamwork to know that you all work together and they weren't hollering, you go here, and you go there. They knew what to do when the time came. I want to appreciate you and thank you for all that you do for Denton County.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Go ahead, Evan.
Thank you. No, I commend all of you. Anytime I speak to residents, no one, when you say, hey, do you know what the county really does? And so many people are not thinking about all the things, but I say, and this is really true of I believe, for every governmental entity, is job number one is public safety.
Thank you.
And you guys are job number one. I mean, and I say that, the sheriff's office constables are the first line. And then, of course, we have the fire marshals, we have a lot of public safety. But you guys are job number one, and I appreciate everything you do.
Exceptional job, folks. You can go through a whole career in law enforcement and never save one life, even though you do a lot of amazing things. So you had an opportunity that actually is pretty rare. Unfortunately, right? You get into this job to try to save people and better the citizens that you work for. But at the end of the day, exceptional job. Obviously, we're all very proud of you, the sheriff as well. And we really appreciate it. Keep up the good work. It allows the citizens to feel more comfortable knowing that if something does occur, that our men and women are ready to react. So thank you so much.
Commissioner Edmondson, did you want to speak to the issue?
I just second everything that the other commissioners have said today. Sheriff, you have an outstanding unit there. Thank you so much for making them ready and able when the time came.
Perfect. And I'm not going to pass up this opportunity to say that we do have openings at the sheriff's office. So if you're watching, or if you know someone who would like to join public service.
Not as many as we used to.
Not as many as we used to, absolutely, through the good efforts of the sheriff and his good team over there. But we do, if you'd like to be a part of the great work that Denton County Sheriff's Office does, please come check us out online, because we would love to maybe potentially welcome you to our Denton County family. So, all right, we have a motion and a second. Any other comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Let's give them a big hand. Thank you. It's a great morning to celebrate some
Yes, it is.
great leaders in our community. Next, let's go to item 3C. We have a special guest and his team here. We have our very own Congressman Brandon Gill is with us this morning from Washington, D.C. We're glad to have him here. This is item 3C is a presentation of an American 250 flag and brief legislative update from Congressman Brandon Gill. Good morning, sir. We're glad to have you.
Good morning, Judge Eads and Commissioner Falconer and Commissioner Williams, Commissioner Mitchell, and Commissioner Edmondson. Thank y'all for, first of all, thank you for your service to the county.
You bet.
And for all the work that y'all are doing every single day, and for the law enforcement in the room as well, for keeping Denton County safe. My wife and I live in Flower Mound, so I'm a little partial to Flower Mound over Denton, I have to say. But we are really, really thankful for the work that y'all do to make sure that my wife and I and my kids can live in a very safe and beautiful town, and what I think is kind of the best place really in the country to raise a family. So really appreciate y'all and all the work that you do, and for everybody else in the room as well who's serving the county. But before I get started with a legislative update, I wanted to present you guys an America 250 commemorative flag from Washington. This is to celebrate the country's 250th anniversary, which we just did last 4th of July. So we've got this flag for you guys.
Oh, perfect, good. We'll do it. Okay, perfect. Thank you, sir.
We'll do a picture. Okay, perfect. Good. Thank you. But with that said, again, thank y'all for letting me come here and give you a quick update. I just wanted to give a bit of a legislative update on some of the things that sort of big legislative items that we're working on, a little bit of look back over the past year and a half in Washington, some of the things that I've been working on as well. So firstly, if you just look at kind of the past year and a half in Washington, it's been extraordinarily busy, really across the board. We kicked off last calendar year, by working on what has been called the Big Beautiful Bill, or the Working Families Tax Cut, which was our first reconciliation package. That was a bill that I spent a lot of my time working on in Washington. I serve on the House Budget Committee. The House Budget Committee is the committee that shepherded that bill and all other reconciliation bills through the House, and without getting into sort of the procedural minutia, we're doing the same thing right now with a third reconciliation bill. But the first one, the Working Families Tax Cut, was a bill that cut taxes across the board, ensured that American families didn't see the biggest tax increase in American history, which would have happened in the new year about 6 months ago, were it not for this bill. On top of that, this bill provided over $100 billion for border security and for interior immigration enforcement. It also provided the largest mandatory spending reform ever in American history. We all know that our national debt is a looming catastrophe for our country. So it was the first step, major step in helping alleviate that challenge. And it repealed about half of the Green New Deal, which is a series of tax credits and tax incentives specifically for what you might categorize as green energy, and everything that sort of flows under that umbrella. So it was a pretty landmark piece of legislation that we passed within about 6 months last year. It was signed into law, I believe, on July 4th of last year. So coming out of that, we worked on several other things. We did a big rescission bill, which is a way of clawing back money that has already been appropriated. So we defunded organizations like NPR and PBS, as well as large portions of USAID that we determined had money, billions of dollars, that was not being spent in the national interests. And happy to talk about that if you're interested. But that's sort of a quick look back. Looking forward, where we're at right now. There's really two big legislative items that we're working on. The House just broke for August recess, so we're out for about 5 weeks, and then we'll be back in September. The Senate is still in session for another 2 weeks before their August recess begins. So they're working on these items. The first one is a third reconciliation bill. As I mentioned, reconciliation, it's essentially a procedural vehicle for the House and the Senate to pass legislation with only a 50-vote threshold in the Senate, as opposed to the standard, you can call it standard, 60-vote threshold that's needed under current procedure with the filibuster in the Senate. The purpose of this third reconciliation bill is twofold. One is to provide funding for the military that's needed right now, and has been needed for quite some time, actually. And secondly, is to provide a procedural vehicle to pass a bill called the Save America Act, which is a bill that's been talked about pretty extensively in the media. Essentially, it mandates voter ID whenever somebody is voting in federal elections, and mandates that American citizens have to prove that they're an American citizen whenever they're registering to vote. That's a bill that candidly, that we passed out of the House. We passed the first step in that reconciliation process out of the House. It's called the budget resolution that is now sitting with the Senate. And I hope that they take that up for a vote very soon. The reality is that by the time that bill becomes law, if it does, Save America, candidly, is going to look different than it does now. There's a whole process of called the bird bath, of how legislation changes through reconciliation when things like this are done, and happy to get into the minutia of that if you'd like to. But we're hoping to move that as quickly as possible. Again, that's in the Senate's hands. The second big legislative item that is sort of on the docket right now is government funding. So the end of the federal government's fiscal year is September 30th. It's a deadline we see every single year. We know it's coming. There's no secrets about it, unfortunately.
It's the same day every year.
It's the same day every year. If you looked at the way Washington operates, you wouldn't know that. Unfortunately, the way Washington works and has worked for quite some time is that typically if there's a government funding deadline at September 30th, we hope that a bill is passed at about 11:59 p.m. on September 30th, before midnight. What we are doing right now so that we can avert something like that, where we're waiting until the last minute, we have a shutdown crisis or a shutdown looming, is the House passed just this past week a continuing resolution. A continuing resolution simply stipulates that we are going to fund the government at current levels. This one was for a few additional months so that we can have more time to negotiate. That is a government funding, at least under current procedure, requires 60 votes in the Senate. That means it's a bipartisan bill by nature, and that this continuing resolution will buy us more time for negotiations. We passed that out of the House. That bill, that continuing resolution, is now sitting with the Senate as well. And hopefully, I really hope that they will take that up for a vote and get it passed so that we don't have that issue ahead of us. I know you guys have dealt with that before. We certainly have. It's not fun, and it's a terrible way to govern, going from shutdown to shutdown. So we're doing everything we can to avert that. The last thing I'll say, just because we had a big legislative week this past week, we passed another bill out of the House, which does two things, which would ban members of Congress from trading stocks, and at the same time, it would also mandate a voter ID. Not the same thing as the Save America Act, a different sort of mechanism, but would mandate voter ID. We passed that out of the House. That's also sitting with the Senate. I think that those two issues kind of speak for themselves, and they're both things that I think are very, very overdue. With that said, I'll go through some of the things that I'm working on, and I'm happy to take questions from you guys. As I mentioned, I serve on the House Budget Committee in Washington. I also serve on the House Judiciary and Oversight Committees as well. And what's unique, but the Budget Committee, as I mentioned, is what shepherds reconciliation through the House, so that's been a busy place to be, and probably will be for quite some time now. But the Judiciary and Oversight Committees are the two committees that have what's called subpoena authority in Washington. That means that we have the ability to launch investigations either into, it could be anything from how the federal government is spending our money. We have oversight authority. The Oversight Committee has broad jurisdiction over all parts of the federal government. And the Judiciary Committee has kind of similar jurisdiction with a particular focus on the judiciary and the DOJ and things like that. I was recently named, probably 6 weeks ago, chairman of a task force on the House Oversight Committee. This is the task force on defending constitutional rights and exposing institutional abuses. So I've spent a lot of my time there. We recently launched an investigation into 4 different birth tourism companies. These are businesses in Texas, California, and Florida who are making money by facilitating people coming into the United States for the sole purpose of giving birth, which is illegal under current law. We don't actually need to change any laws to stop that. That is illegal under current law. So we're working on that, and we spent a lot of time working on Medicaid fraud as well. We had the big investigation on the Minnesota Somali fraud about 6 months ago, and we did a similar investigation that's sort of ongoing into similar fraud in Ohio.
What are those cost estimates on that, the rough numbers?
Yeah. So for the Minnesota, we think that it's probably about $15 to $16 billion a year.
Billion with a B.
Billion, that's right.
With a B.
A very, very substantial number. And in Ohio, where you see kind of similar patterns, similar people doing it, similar patterns of how the fraud is taking place. It's mainly in the home health sector. I think that's about $1 billion a year.
Wow.
Now, admittedly, these are difficult numbers to pin down just by the nature of what we're talking about. But that's sort of where we're at. We had our first hearing on the Ohio fraud maybe a month ago or so. Maybe it was a little longer than that. And the day after our hearing, this is for the task force that I chair, the Trump administration announced that they were shutting down about 50 different home health businesses in Ohio that had been defrauding taxpayers. So we're going to continue that work. We've got a round table, I believe, next week at the White House that'll be at related to fraud across the country. And I will say one thing is, once you dig into one state, whether it's Minnesota or Ohio, you realize there's 48 or 49 other states we could be doing the same work.
Exactly.
The scope is pretty mind-blowing. I could continue talking, but happy to take questions from you guys.
Perfect. Members, do you have any questions of Congressman Gill?
Go ahead.
Well, Congressman, thanks for coming today. And you and I have talked before that bless you for doing what you do in Washington, D.C. That is not an easy job. Thank you for doing that. I did, so just a clarification, thank you for that update, very helpful. So the Save America Act, and then I don't remember the third one you mentioned that had voter ID also. Is that just a belt and suspenders kind of approach, or is it a different application?
Yeah, those are basically, let me put it this way, the goal is to get as much of the Save America Act signed into law as possible. We've received, practically speaking, quite a bit of resistance from the Senate.
Right.
So we basically sent them 2 different bills with 2 different ways of accomplishing what we think is a similar goal.
Got it. Thank you. That's all I had. Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Yeah, Judge, first off, thank you for coming today. We really appreciate it. I want to express that the people you represent, you're doing extremely well. And we're very fortunate to have somebody like yourself fighting for certain parties, obviously. Unfortunately, that didn't happen across the country, as you deal with while you're in Washington. The question I have for you is why is the other side so, why are they against, obviously, us always trying to figure out where the fraud is coming from and how to stop it? Yeah. And why are you running into brick walls with those type of scenarios when it's pretty obvious what's going on? Why would not everybody support trying to stop fraud?
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you a very candid answer. I think there are two reasons from what we've seen in the past several months. First is that it's a very easy political weapon. Disingenuous and cynical as it may be, it's a very easy political weapon. Whenever we put forward proposals to rein in Medicaid fraud, for instance, it's very easy for the other side to disingenuously, I think dishonestly, say that we're taking away somebody's health care. Not even remotely true. What we're making sure is that, in fact, our social system, our health care programs remain financially viable, and they're not going to be financially viable if we're allowing large numbers of people to defraud it to the tune of billions of dollars every single year. So it's simply, one reason is that it's simply just a political weapon, and that's the kind of stuff people are so sick of, but that's the reality. Secondly is that whenever you dig into a lot of fraud, especially Medicaid fraud is a good example, because that's where you see a lot of this. Medicaid is a program that is funded largely by the federal government, but administered by the states,
Right.
which creates an incentive problem. That means that you've got a whole lot of goods that state politicians can dole out that they don't really have to pay for. And this can be used essentially to buy off votes. And we saw that, I think, pretty clearly in Minnesota, where you had a group of politicians on the state level that essentially made kind of a Faustian bargain with the fraudsters, where they said, you know, we kind of implicitly, we kind of understand what's going on here. We know you're defrauding the federal government, but you tend to vote for our party, meaning the Democrat Party, to be clear. And we're going to look the other way and allow you to do this. We don't want to rock the boat. Just keep voting for us. That's what we saw with it's a wild level of corruption, but that is something that we definitely saw in Minnesota.
Well, I appreciate that, and it's a shame, obviously, that we have that type of mentality in this country that is so wonderful that we're all fortunate enough to live in. And again, you're doing an outstanding job, and I really enjoy watching the videos that you put out and the hot seat that you put some of these individuals in. And it's just amazing how they just literally cannot sit there and answer with a straight face and just give a normal answer. They have to bounce around and try to act like they don't have the answer that's so obvious in front of them. But again, I
They
really
don't want to
appreciate-
answer it.
Well, of course not, because it doesn't fit their agendas. But again, I really appreciate what you do for all of us. We're very fortunate to have you representing Texas, and obviously coming out of Flower Mound and Denton County is really, really cool for us. So thank you for being here today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Congressman, may I just note that for the youngest congressional representative in the entire country, you are keeping a very full schedule. They're keeping you rather busy, young man. Is that correct?
Very busy, extremely busy. We've got a lot of work to do.
Perfect. Thank
Well,
you.
we appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to your wife for allowing
Commissioner
it.
Mitchell.
Thank you, Congressman Gill. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come and talk to us at Denton County, and thank you for the job that you do. We appreciate all that you do here in Denton County, and you are available and you're present here in Denton County. We certainly do appreciate that for our citizens to be able to get in touch with you. And I thank you to Robin and all the office members that are there for all that you all do. When the constituents call, you take the call. I refer citizens to you, and y'all do a great job in taking care of them. And I know it starts at the top, so I want to thank you.
Appreciate that.
Congressman, I want to thank you for your service to the country, your service to Texas, and obviously to the 26th District. It's been great to work with you and deal with you, and I'm so pleased that you came here on this August. You're out for the August recess, basically, and I'm glad that you're here giving an update, you know, to your county seat and to the Commissioner's Court. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. He called me a few months ago and said, I'd love to come to y'all's Rotary Club and give an update and just a nonpartisan update about what's going on in Washington, D.C. And I said, well, if there's some good news to report, I'd love to hear it. So
I like reporting good news.
you report some good news, but it's also, you do a great job of shining the light on some not so good news. And so I just want to say thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your service. Thank you for giving back to the country and for your accessibility. The fact that you're here this morning and not only presenting but willing to take questions, I appreciate that, and going out in your community and civic involvement, going out and being involved and being willing to have those opportunities for you to not only speak, but more importantly, to listen. And so thank you for doing that. And we have Team Gill in the house today, and so I'm glad that they're here as well. As Commissioner Mitchell alluded to, that it really does take a team, and we have the Chief of Staff, Andrew Leopard, is with us, the District Director, the legendary Robin Vaughn. So thank you. We have the Press Secretary Colton Christiani, Policy Advisor Ethan Ashley, and Outreach Director Mitch Kipp. Let's give them a big hand. Thank them for their service to our government. Is there any other comments? All right. Well, why don't we let's do a flag presentation here. I'd love to do it. Yes, sir.
Just one other thing.
Yes, sir.
If you guys have anything that my office can help with, especially related to a federal agency, government, Social Security, taxes, immigration, whatever it is, let us know, because that's what we're here for. We want to be helpful, and our office is always open. We've got the best. Really do have the best team in the country, so
Absolutely.
we just want to be a service to you guys.
Well, we already have a to-do list, and Eric Morris is going to go over that after the meeting with you all today. So, all right, good. Well, thank you so much for being here.
One, two, and three. Perfect.
All right, next let's go to, looking through the agenda here, of different individuals we have with us. Let's go to item 13D, which is approval of a resolution by the Commissioners Court of Denton County, Texas, to determine the costs of certain authorized improvements to be financed within the enclave of Tabor Ranch Public Improvement District, approving a preliminary service and assessment plan, including a major proposed improvement plan assessment role, and calling a public hearing for August the 25th, 2026 to consider an order levying assessments on property located within the major improvement area of the enclave of Tabor Ranch Public Improvement District located in Denton County Commissioner Precinct 4 in accordance with Chapter 372 of the Texas Local Government Code. The chair will move for approval.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 13E, approval of a resolution by the Commissioners Court of Denton County, Texas, approving and authorizing the Denton County Judge to execute an interlocal cooperation agreement between Denton County, Texas, and the Tabor Ranch Municipal Utility District of Denton County related to the enclave of Tabor Ranch Public Improvement District located in Commissioner Precinct 4.
And I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, let's go back to item 4A, which is a public hearing on July the 28th, 2026 to consider, discuss, and take appropriate action for the replat of Savannah Phase 1, lots 1R, 2R, 3R. This is Block 1. This is 9.519 acres located in Commissioner Precinct 1. Do we have a motion to open the public hearing?
Move to motion?
Motion to open the public hearing by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We are in a public hearing. Is there anyone in attendance wishing to speak in favor of or opposed to the replat of Savannah Phase 1? Anyone in attendance wishing to speak in favor of or opposed to the replat of Savannah Phase 1? Hearing none, do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion closed?
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Do we have a motion to consider the action?
Move to approve?
We have a motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, let's proceed to item 5A, was approval of bill report, payments from CSCD, Community Corrections, TAIP, Sheriff's Training, Sheriff's Forfeiture, VIT interest, and DA forfeiture funds are presented for recording purposes only. Mr. May, good morning. Good to see you, sir.
Good morning, Judge. I have no changes today. Recommend approve as presented.
All right, well, I love it. No changes. Do we have a motion for approval? Motion
Second.
by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 6A, approval of specifications and authority to advertise for RFP 262921, Denton County Employee Wellness Clinic, and the appointment of evaluation committee to include Kevin Falconer, County Commissioner, Precinct 2, Ryan Wilkie, Division Manager, Administration and Compliance, the Public Health Department, and Tony Rose, Health and Wellness Outreach Coordinator, Human Resources, and Gustavo Hernandez, Director of Human Resources.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 7A, report for miscellaneous and equipment and software services is presented for recording purposes only. Next is item 7B, approval of budget amendment request 2026317 for the District Attorney's Office to transfer $25,647 from legal services to non-capital law enforcement equipment to cover the cost of an Axon Taser contract for the district attorney investigators.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 7C, approval of budget amendment request 2026318 for the 16th District Court to transfer $89,500 from District Court appointment representation, family court miscellaneous court ordered expenses to various line items within the district court's budget to provide additional funding needed and anticipated court-related expenses for the remainder of the fiscal year. Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, item 7D is approval of budget amendment request 2026319 for the 158th District Court, the 362nd District Court, the 367th District Court, and the 467th District Court to transfer $166,500 from District Court appointment representation, court-appointed attorneys, and administrative supplies to various line items within the District Court's budget to provide additional funding needed and anticipated court-related expenses for the remainder of the fiscal year. Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 7E, approval of budget amendment request 2026320 for the 462nd District Court, the 211th District Court, and District Courts judicial and court support to transfer $106,030 from District Court appointment representation, court-appointed attorneys, family court, and administrative supplies to various line items within the district court's budget to provide additional funding needed and anticipated court-related expenses for the remainder of the fiscal year. Motion by Commissioner Mitchell.
Second.
Chair will second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 7F, approval of budget amendment request 2026337 for the Juvenile Probation Department residential mental health placement to transfer $550,000 from non-departmental unappropriated contingency to institutional care to cover a deficit in the spending category and placement costs for the remainder of the fiscal year.
Move approval.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is item 7G, approval of budget amendment request 2026339 for Community Supervision and Corrections Department, CSCD, to transfer $17,000 from medical expenses to electronic monitoring to provide additional funding for the remainder of the fiscal year. Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 7H, approval of budget amendment request 2026343 to transfer $979,728 from Permanent Improvement Fund Road Project Planning to Permanent Improvement Fund US 377 at Fish Trap Road and Liberty Road for the construction contract award for the turn lane improvements at US 377 at Fish Trap and Liberty Project.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 7I, approval of budget amendment request 2026344 for death investigations to transfer $91,000 from non-departmental unappropriated contingency to confidential funds and $3,500 from vehicle care to training and education for a total transfer of $94,500 to increase funding for body transportation due to a rise in decedent removals.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 7J, approval of budget amendment request 2026397 for elections administration to transfer $177,250 from unappropriate contingency and $432,790 from various line items within the elections administration budget to election judges for a total transfer of $610,040 to cover a deficit in the line item and anticipated costs for the remainder of the fiscal year. The chair will move for approval.
And I'll
Second
second.
by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 7K, approval of budget amendment request 2026399 for the Sheriff's Communication Division to transfer $120,500 from salary assistance to justice management with $15,000 to overtime cash option and $105,500 to inmate transport expense to cover shortages in the spend categories and to cover additional costs for the remainder of the fiscal year.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 7L, approval of budget amendment request 2026400 for the county jail to transfer $117,144 from non-departmental unappropriated contingency to overtime cash option outside of the budget amendment and human resources policy. Funds are needed to cover overtime for the 2 periods in the month of June.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 8A, report from Human Resource regarding hiring actions of elected officials. This is presented for recording purposes only. Mr. Hernandez.
Judge, Commissioners, good morning. We have one promotion in the County Criminal Court number 3, 3 promotions in the District Clerk, 3 new hires in juvenile probation, 4 new hires in the Sheriff's Office. 3 of those are detention officer 1s. We have 2 rehires in the Sheriff's Office, also detention officer 1s. 1 demotion in the Sheriff is going to become a detention officer 1. 2 promotions in the Sheriff's Office and 1 promotion in the tax office. That's it for this week.
Perfect. Thank you, Gustavo. Next is item 9A, approval of the execution of the business associate agreement and the fiscal year 26 service agreement with Teletask Incorporated for hosting messaging platform services for the Denton County Public Health. Motion by
Second.
Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right, next is item 10A, a consideration of the approval with conditions or disapproval of the Aspire Development Edition final plats, lots 1 and 2, Block A. This is 2.79 acres located in Commissioner Precinct 4.
I'll move approval.
Motion by Commissioner Edmondson, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is Item 10B, consideration of the approval with conditions or disposal of the Lights Ranch mixed-use subdivision, final plat, lots 1, block 1. This is 61.152 acres located in Commissioner Precinct 1.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 10C, consideration of the approval with conditions or disapproval of the Martop Road multifamily final plat. This is Block A, Lot 1. This is 21.921 acres located in Commissioner Precinct 1.
Move to deny.
We have a motion to deny this. We have a second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussions?
Yeah, I just want to add something here. I've met with a developer and the city and obviously tried to work something out where.
Which city was that?
Oak Point.
Okay.
Obviously, what's in the best interest of the potential renters when this development is completed at some point in time. And I asked for them to, and the developer said they would get back with the city. I have been told that hasn't occurred, and so I would like them to continue their discussions before we get this going any further.
So do you want to do a disapproval or no action today?
No action's fine.
So we're going to,
I'm sorry.
Modify your motion.
Yeah, I'll modify my motion. To
okay,
no
so we're going to
action.
just withdraw the motion and it's going to be a no action today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. Belknap.
So it's a denial then, correct? Okay.
You want to-
Sorry.
Yes.
Denial.
I'm going to just see what they want to,
Go ahead,
what they
Judge.
want to
So
clarify.
court need to take action on the plats.
Oh,
You
because
either have
of
to
the
approve,
timeline.
approve
The
a condition
the
or
timestamp.
disapprove.
Yeah, there's.
So I
Okay.
apologize. So I'll stick with my original denial.
Second.
Okay. All right, just want to make sure. And these,
Thank you,
this is
Stephen, for reminding
different
me.
language than we've had posted on here before too as well. So, okay,
I
so we have a
apologize.
motion to deny by Commissioner Williams, a second for the denial by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor of the denial, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries
Thank you. I
unanimously.
apologize
Thank you.
for
No,
the
no, no, I
confusion.
was just making sure.
No,
If it was just
that's what you hear to keep me
conversation.
in line.
That's right, it's all good. Well, that's a full time. Next is 13A. 13A is approval of a resolution requesting permission to apply for the ASPCA Disaster Capacity Building Grant and any appropriate action. The chair will move for approval.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next is 13B. Approval acceptance of award and distribution of grant funds for the fiscal year 26-27 SAMHSA Grant and Family Drug Court Year 3 grant number, pardon me, grant number IH79T10873007-03 in the amount of $253,245 and any appropriate action. Motion by Commissioner Mitchell, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank y'all for being here. Next is 13C, approval to allow Denton County Commissioners to complete continuing education instruction online, except a county commissioner must complete the instruction in person in the first 12 months period of the commissioner's first term as provided by the Texas Local Government Code Section 81.0025B and any appropriate action.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner
Thank you.
Williams, second by Commissioner Edmondson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next, let's go to 14A, approval of the agreement for a local on-system improvement project between the Texas Department of Transportation and Denton County, Texas, in the amount of $903,345.15 with funding to come from line item PRJ 260008 US 377 at Fish Trap and Liberty Road is 1080CC 90100 PR 9061 and any appropriate action.
Move to approve.
Motion by
Second.
Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Falconer. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next is 14B, approval of the interlocal cooperation agreement between Denton County, Texas and the Rockwood Municipal Utility District, number 1, for property tax assessment and collection as recommended by the Denton County Tax Assessor Collector.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Falconer, second by Commissioner Mitchell. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Let's go back to, what do I need, Bianca?
2A.
2. So let's go to our consent agenda. Members, are there any items you'd like to pull off the consent agenda or have a motion to approval as presented?
So moved.
The motion by Commissioner Falconer,
Second.
second by Commissioner Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Our consent agenda today consists of item 2A, approval of the order making appointments. Item 2B is approval of payroll. Item 2C is approval of the June 2026 Road Superintendent Report. This is presented for recording purposes only. Item 2D is approval of budget amendment request 2026-326 for the 481st District Court to transfer $2,300 from various line items within the District Court's budget to training and education to cover the current deficit and anticipated training expenses for the remainder of the fiscal year. Item 2E is approval of budget amendment request 2026-332 for facilities management to transfer $12,000 from service contracts and $8,000 from administrative equipment for a total transfer of $20,000 to flags for additional funding needed for new and replacement flags at various county buildings. Item 2F is approval of budget amendment request 2026-333 for facilities manager to transfer $20,000 from HVAC supplies to county building maintenance, repair and maintenance to allocate additional funding for unexpected repairs to various county buildings. Item 2G is approval of budget amendment request 2026-336 for facilities management to transfer $15,000 from professional services to landscape expenses to allocate additional funding for landscape updates at various county buildings. Item 2H, approval of budget amendment request 2026-338 for Justice of the Peace Precinct 3 to transfer $500 from training and education to interpreters to provide additional funding needed for the remainder of the fiscal year. And 2I is approval of budget amendment request 2026-398 for the Magistrate Court to transfer $2,500 from visiting judge expense and $2,800 from training and education to administrative supplies for a total transfer of $5,300 to cover anticipated expenses for the remainder of the fiscal year. All right, did I get everything, Bianca? Okay, let's go to item 17, which is our community updates. Thank you. Our community updates will start with Commissioner Precinct 1.
Thank you, Judge. Everybody needs to be aware, a lot of schools start next week, so please realize the traffic flow will increase heavily. You also may have little ones walking to and from school. Watch out for the school buses, the school zones. This is a very important time for the kids, but it's also a very dangerous time as well. So let's make sure we have our head on a swivel and we're really paying attention so we don't have any accidents or issues whatsoever. And best of luck to all the schools, the teachers, which we appreciate so much, and the kids and the families that have to get the little ones out of bed soon, which is definitely a different change from what they're accustomed to. So good luck, everybody, for a very successful school year. That's all I've got.
Perfect. Commissioner Falconer.
Thank you, Judge. Well, I'm leading off with what you started with at the beginning of the meeting, is with our loss of Private Isabella Gonzalez. Isabella was 19 years old, a Carrollton resident, and went and just graduated from Hebron High School district that I live in last year, and it's been a very difficult thing, but I would say that as I continue to learn more about her and her family, is they are patriots through and through, and she did all of this voluntarily and asked for the assignment in Jordan. This wasn't something that she was forced to do, and she did it heroically and selflessly. And so arrangements are the final times and locations of the arrangements are TBD. Should be announced, I think, fairly quickly today or tomorrow. But I encourage everyone to pray for the family of Isabella Gonzalez. And then just a couple of events. We have as Commissioner Williams mentioned, we have the Carrollton Farmers Ranch ISD Back to School Fest. That's at Ranch View High School on the 31st from 4 to 7. And then Crossroads Community Market on 2042 FM 424 on August 1st from 8 to noon. And that's all I've got.
Perfect. Thank you, Commissioner Mitchell.
Our roundup events in Precinct 3 and Precinct 4, we have current Butterfly Garden Works on August 1st, 8 a.m. in current Butterfly Garden. Louisville First Saturday Nature Walk, August 1st, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Layla. Back to school information, community backpack and school supplies giveaway, Karen's Closet, Miss Karen's Closet, August 1st, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. in Flower Mound. Lake City's Hope Back to School Fair, Saturday, August 1st, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Louisville ISD Back to School Fair, Thursday, July 30th, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Also, news around Precinct 3, a 51-acre portion of the proposed Eden Ranch development in West Flower Mound has been sold, and the new owners plan to develop or donate the property for a private pre-K-12 school. Also, Atlantic Housing Foundation closes in Louisville a deal, a 200-unit apartment community that has housed low and moderate income families for decades. So look forward to that. And Precinct 4, I'll go ahead and read that. Argyle ISD Back to School Bash, Saturday, August 1st, 9 a.m. to 12, Argyle High School Cafeteria. Justin Peterson Park Grant opening July 30th, 6 p.m. at 1300 Timberbrook Parkway. North Lake Community Health Day at the Star Center. That's at 13850 Chadwick Parkway. Northwest ISD Back to School Bash. That's on Saturday, August 1st at Tanger Outlet Mall. And Ponda Volunteer Fire Department Community Spaghetti Dinner, August 4th, 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. and it's only $5 per place. So be sure to go out and enjoy all these items that we're doing and these projects that people are doing, especially the ones that back to school to help the parents with back to school items. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Edmondson.
Well, thank you, Commissioner, for filling us in on Precinct 4. But I'd like to remind everybody, it's terribly hot out there. It's dangerous to be outside. And if you are forced to be outside, please take all the appropriate measures to make sure you're not going to have any kind of a heat stroke or some kind of an incident. So take care. It is Texas. It is summer. So we can expect this to last a while. Thanks. Everybody stay safe. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Commissioner, for joining us virtually. Glad that you could do that. Next, I would like to just kind of mention a couple of shout-outs, Denton County shout-outs of the Denton County ESD number 1 and 2. Congratulations to them for our Emergency Service District 1 and 2 were both recognized for the 2026 Mission Lifeline EMS Gold Recognition Award for the 10th year in a row. So that make us very proud. So thank you to Denton County Emergency Services District. And this is an award given by the American Heart Association. So thank you for their good work in the southwest part of the county. Okay, last night, Commissioner Mitchell and I were able to join many members of the Daughters of the American Revolution as we cut the ribbon on a new exhibit that's going to be at the courthouse on the square for a couple of weeks, and it's in partnership with the Denton County Office of History and Culture. And it is this new exhibit is called the American Revolution Experience, and it's there on the second floor in the lobby of the county judge's office. And it is a great exhibit that we opened, and it's a traveling museum, and it will be here at the courthouse on the square through August the 12th. So be sure to go check that out. It's open to the public Monday through Friday, 11 to 4, and Saturday 11 to 3 p.m. So I just want to mention that. That's a great exhibit, and we're celebrating America's 250 all year long. So that's not just on July 4th. I'd also like to give a Denton County shout out to Denton County native Cooper Lutenhouse for winning his first outdoor national title in the men's 800-meter race at the U.S. Track and Field outdoor championships. So congratulations on that. And we do not have any executive session items today, so I would like to just, let's see if there's any notations here for future meetings. I'll just remind everybody that there'll be no meeting on Tuesday, September the 8th, 2026. So anyway, hearing no other action before the court, we are adjourned. Thank you.